Hey guys, this is Primeval. We're back with part 8 of our game with no quitters. This is our 6th game in the series and our 3rd game as Songhai. We just discovered atomic theory, and we found out that we do indeed have a lot of uranium. So we're going to go and swing our way over to nuclear missiles. And while we're working on that, we are going to go and build the Manhattan Project. So we've got uranium there, and here, and here. And the Japanese have just declared war on the Incans here. Not entirely sure why. Maybe they want a foothold on my continent. And we can see that KDJD has 2 aircraft. We've also found some natural wonders, which should make a bunch of our city-states happy. We finished our military academy, so let's get to work on some bombers here. And there, KDJD has just declared war on me. So we finished our research lab. And we'll go and start production. We're in starvation. We'll start production on barracks, and we'll also switch us over to default focus, reset these tiles. Okay. So we finished that workshop. If we did build the hydro plant, it would take a while to finish for one. Let's go and build a forge. And this city can pump out all of our infantry, etc. KDJD has also declared war on Karls there. Okay, so KDJD has declared war on everyone. So this battleship is a little suicidal here, but I do really want to know where KDJD's capital is. Let's go grab our armory next. Alright, so we don't have any special missions. Ragusa is just over here, but could potentially fall to all these hostilities. We just finished a factory. Our peace treaty with the Incans has expired. If we look at which of our cities has the next greatest production, Cuzco. Alright. I guess Cuzco could work on the Manhattan Project. That's 16 turns. That's pretty slow. And it's not exactly the safest spot. If this is the closest way for KDJD to land on my continent, he might come via Cuzco. But I want to pump bombers in my capital, and that means maybe having to build the Manhattan Project somewhere else. We'll also need to improve some of our uranium sources. And if we... Ooh, that ain't good. So KDJD has just finished the Manhattan Project. We might need to go and accelerate our own Manhattan Project then. We'll go and change production to a Great War Bomber over here. And at home... Alright, so Carl's is going to get a Nukin soon. We need to get a navy up, but we don't have very many powerful coastal cities. What wonders does Carl's have here? Oh, he does have a lot. Alright, well, we might want to get in on some of that action then. But we're going to need nukes of our own, and we're also going to need the subs to carry them. Let's head us over towards nuclear submarines after that. So, KDJD has this frigate sitting here, and he's got a bunch of aircraft stationed over there. My battleship is out of range of that. Hopefully Carl's can put up a good fight and won't roll over right away. Looks like my battleship is going to have to run away here. Maybe we can go and hide by Singapore. Alright, so we got ourselves a bomber. And we'll just rebase this guy to here. And we'll start work on the Manhattan Project. We also want to go and improve some of our uranium. So there's one source here. Since we're already in the neighborhood, I guess we'll go and get to work on that. We have another battleship. Choose production. We're going to need... we need destroyers, and the tech for the destroyers is... that's a missile cruiser. Where do I get destroyers from? Combustion. Alright, so that's a little bit out of the way. our battleships will sink to submarines, so that's definitely in danger. But I do need to control the seas, and so I'll build what naval units I can. And these guys will go and hide in Singapore. Tech-wise, we are 6 techs behind KDJD, but once we pop one of our great scientists, actually I think we will do that right now, just so we can build ourselves a destroyer. We'll take a slight detour to combustion, and then we'll go up towards advanced ballistics and then telecommunications. So let's go and pop one of these scientists now and change production to a destroyer, because KDJD likely has some submarines and I need to be able to see them. We'll also go and hide in Singapore and heal up there before we make the journey back home. As far as city-states go, we could throw a little money at Ragusa. Well, they're currently allied with the Americans, so that would take a lot more money. We could throw some money at Sedone, but we already have Ivory, or yeah, we do. So it would just be for the supply of military units. So put this guy on alert. We finished that railroad. And the tiles we're working are mostly all improved, except for these farms. Armory complete. Let's go and grab ourselves a bomber and a paratrooper. Oh yeah, we do need to stick this guy somewhere. Let's go and drop you into New York just to see what Carl's is up to. Okay. KDJD is making 6 gold per turn, which is good. If he had a lot of good gold per turn, he'd be buying up all the city-states. Alright, so KDJD is still taking his turn. I think after Geneva finishes this harbor, I might annex it, because I do need more coastal cities that have decent production. And Geneva isn't that high, but as far as coastal cities go, it's one of my best. Alright, so we're working on this railway. And so I always leave ships with one bit of movement left, so that if any enemy ships come in range, I'll still have movement that'll allow me to shoot. If we weren't playing with no quitters, I would do all of my last movement points as a shift move so that they still keep moving in the direction at the end of turn if I don't need to intervene and have them shoot at any newly arrived enemy ships. So while we're waiting for the turn to turn over, let's take stock of our empire. Takaza is working on our navy, although we don't have a lot of our production on the coast. We do need a navy because we're worried about either invasion by sea or nuclear attacks from either aircraft carriers or nuclear submarines. We're also getting our own nuclear capabilities online. We are 6 turns from completing the Manhattan Project in our capital, and we're pumping out bombers in our next 2 most productive cities. The rest of these cities are puppets, and they're working on things that are reasonable, things that generate some maybe faith or culture or gold. That wall isn't strictly necessary, but I guess that's forgivable. Let's go and look over the economic overview again and see if there are some ships or some cities that we might want to annex for their production. Tiwanaku has 14 production, which isn't so great. I don't think it would really be worth annexing that city. Tiwanaku is giving us 23 gold though, so we're definitely happy we have it. Alright, let's keep an eye on our destroyers here. We are worried about KDJD coming in and killing them. So we should have the railway production bonus here. We do, and we're working on railway bonuses to our other cities. A seaport. I guess I'll go and annex this now, just because I don't really want to waste time on a seaport. Annex the city. Switch to production focus, still stagnating, that's fine. And we'll change production to a destroyer. So I think my plan here is just to keep on building just generic defense, so bombers to defend us against any aggression that Japan might feel they need to do. And while I'm maintaining that army, I'm going to go and head towards nuclear missiles and nuclear submarines, and then nuke KDJD. So we just traded embassies with America, and that's good because I want to know where they are relative to KDJD. Alright, so our battleship is healing up, and we are working on that rail network. Let's go sneak around this way and see what's going on. Carl's just entered the atomic era. We are 3 techs behind KDJD, but he is leading in terms of manufactured goods by a good 45 hammers. At least we're catching up now. He used to be leading by close to 100, if not more. So here, since Carl's is so threatened by KDJD, he's a natural enemy. He's feeding me some very necessary information about KDJD's army composition. It is interesting that this is a Pangaea, but it feels more like continents. This is this very thin, snaky bridge that connects the main continent, where the four of us spawned, and Carl's and KDJD. Alright, so Carl's can see 2 battleships and a frigate. I've also seen a privateer. So at least that means that KDJD doesn't have a huge navy, and perhaps we'll be able to catch up. We're just starting to work on our navy now. I think we're going to want another destroyer after that. Let's see what Mr. Penang is up to. Well, we could do with some copper. So I don't mind giving him 2 for 1 here. Let's actually keep one of these for ourselves. We don't want to be overly generous. And then if he rejects that, perhaps we'll throw in the extra lux. So an extra growth in our capital wouldn't be bad, but since we are approaching our happiness cap, I'm not desperate for it. Okay, so we just got some of our uranium online. And we have a destroyer ready. So we can go and patrol the seas for subs. Here, we'll stay on alert. Okay, so finishing that railway. We'll group our battleships up with our destroyer to spot any submarines, and then we'll move over towards the Americans and maybe try to help them out with a navy. So I still have a great scientist in reserve, and I have a stockpile of money that I'm saving up. We triggered a whole bunch of We Love the King days here, and the only thing left that people want is pearls. So, I don't think anyone here has pearls. Ragusa has pearls. So does Quebec City. Quebec City is in danger of being killed. Getting pearls would be nice. So here Penang is asking for some gold. I don't know why I would give him gold. I guess if he's at war with I could give him 100 gold for his embassy. But I'm not going to give him much more than that. Alright, so let's see how long it would take to get to America. 5 turns. Let's go and purchase another destroyer here. Although that money is probably better spent on other things. Alright, so Kyoto's up here. We are second on tech. Kyoto is not so hot. We really do want vision of KDJD's capital. Alright, so we just finished the Manhattan project here, and up next we're going to build some bombers, and now might be the time to go pop ourselves towards ballistic missiles. Well, let's see when our next great scientist is coming. Our great scientist is coming in 3 turns, so we'll pop this guy now. So we'll get advanced ballistics next turn, and then we'll work our way up towards nuclear submarines, then perhaps towards stealth. Or robotics for the missile cruiser. We might also, well, we'll decide when we get there. So we just finished a bomber. We're going to need another bomber. Alright, so Washington's right here. We'll probably go along the top. I'm going to go and use up all of my movement, despite the fact that that's kind of risky. Let's see how far these guys can bomb. Okay, so I can cover a lot of the sea area here, and they'll be good backup for my destroyer, should I reveal any submarines. So we just finished our own Manhattan project, and we are 2 techs behind KDJD. A bunch of our cities were converted, and here is a bomber. Choose production. We'll go and grab another bomber. We definitely have the oil for that. And we should also go and improve more of our uranium. So we've got uranium down here. Alright, so we have a new spy, and we can go and drop him into Washington just to see what's going on there. Alright, let's take another look at the demographics. We are second on manufactured goods. KDJD is a good 40 points or so ahead of us. We're leading in terms of gold per turn. We're second in terms of soldiers, but KDJD is way ahead there, and he's also ahead by 2 techs. Our game plan is to get a decent control of the seas through a combination of bombers and destroyers. Then we're going to get nuclear subs online and use them to launch a nuclear missile at KDJD's capital, or wherever he has the most aircraft. Alright, so we can't steal from Japan, but we can go and see what Japan is up to. So they're working on factories, and they're pumping 86 science per turn and 12 production. Alright, so Japan's capital isn't doing so hot. Oh, that was Osaka. Okay, that's fine. We'll also go and see what New York is up to. They're working on infantry. Alright, so we're going to want to continue to improve the tiles around our capital. All of that looks quite good. Let's move forward slowly with our destroyers and battleships. Alright, so there's one of his sources of uranium. We're finishing up that railway, and we can start work on improving the rest of this uranium. Okay, so we're about to finish this paratrooper. Let's go and add a second paratrooper to the queue, and add another bomber to the queue. Alright, so we just got a great person there, and we got a destroyer. Let's go grab ourselves a battleship. Let's go do some preliminary scouting with this battleship here. Yerevan, pledge to protect. Accept. Huh, looks like there's a little bay here. That's kind of crazy. So I guess while we're here, we may as well finish off this railway. If we do want to get ourselves over to nuclear submarines, we'll have to go and pop this great scientist as well. May as well get ourselves some more aluminum. And we have ourselves some paratroopers. Alright, so let's go take a look at what's happening in this bay. We'll go and fortify and make a farm, make a mine, go to sleep, get a move on. Alright, we'll send our destroyer in first just to see what's going on. Ooh, I see. So we're going to take a bunch of range fire from these aircraft. Our ships don't have the best anti-aircraft abilities, but they have some. Anyways, we're slowing KDJD down a little bit in terms of him taking the Americans, so I don't mind. Ooh, that nuke definitely hurt our navy. Alright, so we just discovered technology. These guys will probably want to run away somewhere. So that was just a nuclear bomb, not a nuclear missile. We should have nuclear missiles in the area soon. In 3 turns, we'll have telecommunications. Or, if we want to hurry that up even more, since we're losing our units here, we can go and purchase a great scientist using our faith. And then what we'll do is purchase a nuclear submarine in Geneva as well as a nuclear missile, and we'll drop that missile here. So as long as we can cripple the only other person who can make nukes, this being KDJD, then perhaps we can go for a space victory, because our land masses are so separated, getting over to his capital, especially since it's not a coastal capital, will be quite difficult. Anyways, we'll wrap up part 8 here, and I'll see you in part 9.